Okay, YouTube, I'm going to try and do a quick video on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. My method involves using 7 easy-to-learn moves, and that's all you really need to know to solve it. I've got some shortcuts that tell you how to orient yourself to the cube and how to put the cube in the right position to use those 7 moves. But that's all you really need to know to learn to solve this cube, and it's pretty easy. I hope you like it. First, some basics on the cube. Colors opposite from each other are similar. White and yellow, orange and red are similar, green and blue are similar. Also, I call those sister colors. Orange and red to be sister colors, and just makes it easy to explain quickly on some things. The cubes have center squares that define the color of that face. They have 2-sided squares in the middles, here, 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 and they have 3-sided sides or cubes that are on the corners. And all those cubes define, they have to be in the right location and the right orientation in order to solve the cube. I'm going to go ahead and solve this or mix it up real quickly. I'm not going to be extremely thorough because I don't want to use a lot of time. So the first, the strategy on this for solving for me is to first bring these 4 center squares to the top. I'm going to use white as my top, yellow as the bottom. Then I'm going to do the 4 top corners and get them in the right place and right direction. Then the 4 side cubes, get those in the right place and right direction. Then the 4 corners, right place first, then right direction with the yellows down, and then the 4 center cubes, get them in the right place and in the right direction, and then so that's the gist of how to solve it. So move number 1 is learning to take white center cubes and move them to either the top face or the bottom face. I'm going to move them to the bottom face first and then swivel them up to the top because it's quick and easy to learn. So you can see I have none on the bottom right now. I have some on the sides. There's none on the top. If there was a cube on the top, the easy way to get it to the bottom is just to swivel it to the bottom. Or if you want to get it from the bottom to the top, you can just swivel it around to the top. Very easy to do. If a cube is on its side, if it's on one of the side squares on the side, you just turn it down to get it to the bottom or up to get it to the top. Very easy. If it's on the side and it's in the top or bottom place, all you have to do is swivel it around, and then you can turn it to the bottom or the top, either one. Anytime you're going to move a cube to the bottom, you can see now I've got one already on the bottom. Anytime you're going to move a cube, say I've got this plane that I'm going to turn down. If I return that, it's going to move that off the bottom. So you want to make sure that anytime you're moving one of these middle cubes, make sure there's not a white one underneath it. So like I will turn this now, if I swivel this to the bottom, it doesn't move that one. If I go to bring this one down, I need to put one that's not white directly underneath it, like so. And then, for instance, say if this one was right here, and I know I messed this up, but just to show you, if I was going to bring this one down, I'd check and see if there's a white one underneath it. If I turn it, I'm turning one off the bottom. I don't want to do that. So I would turn like that. Now, when I turn that cube, now I didn't move one off the bottom. Now I'm going to turn it this way, and I see there's one at the bottom. Swivel it down. You get all 4 cubes on the bottom. It's very easy and quick to get this down. Now to get these cubes in the right place on the top, which is the end of the first step, you just move the colors that are not on the bottom under their own color and swivel them to the top. So here's red, it goes to the top. Blue already happens to be in the right place. I'm going to swivel this one to the top. This green, I need to just bring it under the green, swivel it to the top. Here's an orange. It's under its sister color. I know the orange is going to be all the way across the other side. Swivel that to the top. and you got your white cross, which is these 4 in the right place and the right direction. Now we're going to look at how to bring step 2 into play, which is bringing these white cubes to the top so that they're in the right location in the right direction. So what do you want to do? You want to find white cubes that have the white on the bottom row. Here we've got 3 of them already in the bottom row. This is in the wrong spot, even though it's on the top. So let's just pick one right now. This one has white, and it's got red, then green. So I want to take that white, and if I'm taking that white and I'm turning it in the direction of white, I want to go past the red and past the green. And then this is the cube that's between red and green. I'm going to bring this down and go backwards 1 so the whites line up, and swivel it up, and you have that one solved. So orange then green. It's already past the orange, it's past the green. If I were turning it in the direction of white, bring this down, back, and up. Orange, then blue. I can go backwards. When you're learning this, you probably want to go this way. You go past the orange and past the blue. It was right here. I just know from experience, orange then blue. I see the blue, and that's not orange, so I know that's the right place. You're going to bring this one down, over, and up. And then this one, you don't even need to know the color. All you got to do is go past it, bring it down and up, and you've got your top row solved. Sometimes you're going to have a situation like this where you've got, let's do it this way, where you've got one that's on the bottom and you don't have one here. So what you do is you put your white one under an unsolved cube, swivel it down, and now it's going to be on that bottom row if you take it out of this plane. And you swivel it back up. Red then blue, go past red, past blue, and you would solve it. Another thing you might run into is when you've got, when you've got one that's at the top and none on the bottom row. In that case, you move it to the side, you'll bring it down, and you bring it over out of that plane, swivel these back so you got your middles all solved, and then you're going to solve it the same way. Blue, red, it's going past the blue, past the red, and this way and back up. A lot of the times you'll have one on the bottom and one on the top like that. If you put the one on the bottom underneath the one on the top, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and bring them both to the bottom. And so anyway, that's all there is to that. Now we're going to learn step 3. So 2 steps, we've got the whole top solved. Step 3 is to bring cubes that are 2-sided cubes from the bottom up to one of the sides. And what you want to find is ones that don't have yellow, because when you ultimately have this solved, all the ones that are on the bottom are going to have yellow. So like here is an orange and blue square. You're going to take it where the bottom square is. The way most people teach is you put the blue underneath, line up with the blue, and you would move it away from this color. Say it's orange, and move it away from the orange. Typically what I look for, I see that orange is under its sister color, because a lot of times you might find this cube and you first find it, it's already under the right place. Why move it here or work it around 3 squares and then end up having to move it here? So I just look for the sister color. Now that tells me that this color is the one that has to face me. So blue is facing, and I'm going to show you the move. So I've got this under its sister color. I've got the outward facing cube facing that color facing me. Now we're going to take, what we're going to do is we're going to mess up this top, but we're going to put it right back in the way we already know how. So I'm going to take that face and turn it to the side, turn it down, and I'm going to swivel that white one to the side, and when I turn these back up, that swivels up and it stays at the bottom. Now I know I got to go past blue and orange, bring this down and over and up, and that blue and orange has jumped up here. Now I'm looking for another cube. And I'll show you a shortcut, time saver, I guess. Not really a shortcut. But here's green and red. I'm going to turn it under its orange. And I see this is orange and yellow. I know when I'm done doing this move, that orange and yellow is going to be under, it's going to be under this same hand, under the hand nearest to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve that the same way I did before. Bring that down, bring it over, bring it up. It goes over again, bring this one down, bring that back in line and up. You'll get to where you can do that move right and left without even really thinking about it. Here's that orange and yellow. They're right here. And in this case right now, I've got all yellows at the bottom. So the only way to get one of these cubes solved is I'm going to have to bring it to the bottom by replacing it with one of these yellow ones. So it doesn't matter which one. And my default is I usually go to this right-hand plane if I've got a choice. You can do it either direction. I just get in the habit of doing it the same every time. I bring this over, up, over, down, and up. And now that cube that I brought down, like I said, was under this hand. I don't have to look for it. I know it's right here. Orange and green. It's going to be under the red, so I went to the green and away from the orange. And I know I'm going to be bringing this cube down. It's going to end up over under this hand. I'm going the opposite direction this time, see? And there's that, whoops, and there's that cube. Okay. Anyway, red, then blue. Like so. And you've got the top, and you did all that with just 3 moves. And we've got 2 rows solved, 3 moves. Next step is the 4th row. The 4th row, we got to start out with the corners, and we want to get them to the right location. If you look at any of these corners, I'm just going to pick, here's red and green. I know that either red or green will be here, or red or green will be here. If I look at here, oop, there's a green. So I know that was green and that was green. I'm going to turn them here, and I'll see that red is on the yellow and the oranges, which means the oranges on the reds. Those 2 need to be flipped. They're in the wrong spot. Let's turn them around to the back. These 2 are going to be right in this case. Orange is on orange, red is on red. And the move I'm going to show you will reverse these 2. What you do, we're going to do similar to what we did before. I'm going to turn that right side down. I'm going the opposite direction. I'm bringing it over here. And what I'm doing, if you look, see there's 6 cubes here that were at the top. And I'm displacing 2 of those cubes over here, and I swivel this back. Now these 4 are still at the top, in the top 2 layers. Now I've got 6 cubes here that were all at the top to start. And if I turn these here, now everything that's at the top is still at the top. So if I mess something up on the bottom, it's going to just change the bottom, and then I can fix what I just did by reversing what I did. Now I made 1 turn on the bottom, and that will flip these 2. The only other situation is when all 4 of them are wrong, and then when that happens, it's going to be 2 turns. But we're going to go ahead and reverse what I just did. Remember these 6? I'm going to turn them back so they're like this. Then these 4 are going to go back like this. These 2 that I displaced are going back under here, and I'm going to rotate those 6 back up to the top. And now all 4 of these will be at the right location. If I turn this 2 turns, you'll see orange, blue, or on orange and blue, green and orange, red and green, blue and red are all in the right locations. They're not in the right orientation, but they're in the right locations. Now this next move is move number 5, and